On a multiple text question, the first thing you want to do is read the prompt, which here is asking us, what would both of the texts most likely agree with? The next step is to go ahead and summarize both of those texts in your own words. And when you read, you don't want to focus on every single word. You want to cut out little extra details that you can come back and get later. So looking at text one, microbes are organisms in the soil. They thrive in harsh conditions. The researchers were surprised when they collected samples from a cold, dry area that didn't seem to contain life. This doesn't prove that there are no microbes, but it does suggest that the environment severely restricts their survival. Now looking at text two, the microbes are found in virtually every environment, so it's unlikely they'd be completely absent from the study site no matter how extreme. There were probably so few that the technology couldn't detect them. Since a spoonful might contain billions of microbes, the presence of so few in these samples would show how challenging the conditions are. So the next step is to summarize in our own words what they both would agree with. Text one said that it didn't seem like there were any microbes in these particular samples, while text two said that's hard to believe, that even if there were only a few, there had to still have been some. But what would they both agree with? In my own words, I would say that the conditions are really harsh and definitely at least made it difficult for the microbes. Now let's look at the answer choices. Answer choice A says most microbes are better able to survive in environments with dry conditions than harsh temperatures. I feel like both passages were more general about the conditions within which they could survive. Looking at B now, more microbes would be found if another sample were taken. Well, since the first passage said that there were none, actually, since the second passage said that there were few in the Antarctic, that actually seems to be the opposite of what they're saying. Both passages, I just was glancing here, and it said that Antarctic samples didn't contain any life. And looking here, there were so few in the Antarctic. So it seems like if you wanted more microbes, you would go outside of the Antarctic. Now looking at answer choice C, they're difficult to detect in the soil because they tend to be smaller. Now looking at answer choice C, they're difficult to detect because they tend to be smaller. And my issue with that one seems to be that that's more of what text two was saying. Text one said they didn't find any. Now looking at D, most microbes are probably unable to withstand the soil conditions at the Antarctic study site. I think both passages would agree with that because passage one said there were no microbes, and passage two said there had to have at least been a few. So I think both passages would indeed agree that there are definitely very harsh conditions, and definitely most of them would not live in Antarctic. So we're going to go ahead and pick answer choice D here.